Bitcoin is pulling back, and it looks like it's the end of the world for those of you that are very quickly getting worried about what's going on. But I want to break this down for you. Now, look, the first thing that we need to point out is that we already had some key warning signs that we could be breaking market structure. We covered it on this YouTube channel. Those of you that are subscribed are going to know all about it, where we had these ascending triangle lines. And again, I pointed out that no matter which way you draw it, whether you draw it with this line right here or with this line right here, we actually fell below these lines and then back tested them to find resistance on both occasions. And that was a pretty bearish sign I was telling you guys about. Afterwards, we basically just consolidated at the low as well before dropping down as well. So the signs were definitely there. You know, it didn't necessarily look like we'd be dropping hard, and we didn't, to be honest. Depending on which exchange you look at, we dropped a little bit harder. Coinbase actually completely shit the bed, dropped down to 22.5, but on other exchanges, we're not looking at anything particularly that bad. However, the only thing that's done is put us very firmly in a really good area of support. You know, and that's what I'm seeing here. Now, granted, we have lost some areas of support that I was looking at personally, like the 4-hour Ichimoku cloud. We did basically nothing with this support indicator right here, which is a little bit of a shame, but at the very same time, we've got amazing support now on the daily time frame. And this is actually the great thing about being in the kind of trend that we're in right now, is that we can fail short-term time frames. We can fail slightly longer term, but still overall short-term time frames. But as we keep doing that, we fall into deeper, stronger support, right? Any day of the week, I would always tell you that I believe daily support is going to be stronger than 4-hour support, which is going to be stronger than 1-hour support, and so on and so forth. And the reason for that is the longer term trend just doesn't change as much, right? If you're looking at the daily trend, it's very clear that since the you know, towards the end of November 2022, we've been in an uptrend. There's not really much room for interpretation there. That's very obvious. But if you look at it on the 4-hour time frame, well, I mean, you know, to be fair, we've mostly been in an uptrend as well, but there have been some pretty clear pullbacks here. And on the 1-hour, it's very obvious, right? On the 1-hour, we're basically just ranging sideways, having quite big pullbacks and so on as well. So this is really important to keep in mind, because, you know, we as humans, we think in terms of the 1-hour chart, so to speak, but the chart moves realistically, and we're in a really good area now. The other good thing that I think this is going to be doing for Bitcoin, although we haven't quite seen the effect of this yet, is resetting the fear and greed index a little bit. We had very high readings on the fear and greed index, up towards like levels like 62, 61, which I'm just not happy with. You know, I don't like seeing a particularly high reading here, and it's not the fact that this in itself is a high number, but it's the fact that this particular index, in my experience, in my years of using it, has been extremely accurate in gauging where the market is overall. It's actually made up of a couple different metrics right here, which you can pause the video to read as well. Very, very cool indeed, and it just tends to, it really quite, you know, correlates quite well with what the market actually feels like in my experience. So we're now down to a reading of 53, which is obviously quite nicely in that neutral territory. But when this updates within the next 4 hours, which is probably going to be around when you're watching this video, I think we're going to see an even better reading. I want to see that we're dropping down to levels like 40. I don't know if we're going to drop down that hard that quickly, but these are the kind of things that would definitely give me a little bit more confidence with where the market is going at the moment. Because if we do see people starting to lose a little bit of faith, if, you know, ideally if we start seeing that the retail, the noobs, the guys that, you know, generally lose money, if we start seeing that they're like, all right, well, you know, time to pack up our shit, uptrend's over, you know, they start trying to short the market down, well, then that is obviously what's going to paint really nice green skies for the market to trend higher. And obviously that's what I'm personally going to be looking for as well. I still think that that is overwhelmingly, you know, the most likely thing to happen in this market. I covered with you guys extensively in my most recent video charts like this one right here, where pretty much, in my opinion, no matter where we fall, we're only going to find support. Whether that means we fall down to $21,000, which was the pre-FTX high and our consolidation point in January of this year, or if it means that we fall down to basically where we are right now, right? And these are the same charts I showed you in the last video, so if you were watching that, you're going to know all about this. You know, then I think we're on a really, really good track to still continue to rally up. And obviously, guys, this paints amazing trading opportunities. I want to highlight to you guys OKX, which is giving you up to 30k in rewards, but they've also got another offer which is separate to this, where only the first 500 of you that sign up to OKX can actually take advantage of it, and you get some other really cool bonuses that are much more direct as well. Guys, take advantage of this while they're available. These are limited time offers. They're both linked in the description down below. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. You're going to be able to access some really cool stuff. And the very cool thing about this 30k reward is if you register an account, just for that you get up to 10k in a mystery box. Deposit $50, just for that you get up to 10k again in a mystery box, and you can boost that up to 30k by trading. Absolutely amazing. This platform has been around for 6 years. Nothing that's particularly concerning about them that I've found anyway. I've known about these guys for a very, very long time, and it is now an absolute pleasure to be able to work with them as well, because these guys are solid players in the space. I wouldn't settle for anything less for where I'm going to be putting my money personally, and I have actually been trading on OKX as well, so definitely check them out. They do get my vote of approval as well as a very serious derivatives trader. Now, moving back to the chart here, like I said, I am definitely seeing great opportunities in the market, whether we pull back deep or not very much at all, simply because there's a lot of support printed on this chart, and also because we didn't really have particularly great corrections on our uptrend so far, especially if you count it starting from over here. We just didn't pull back much, right? We had one pullback here, but that was already after Bitcoin rallied up by 48%. Then we got one pullback for minus 12%. It really wasn't that much at all. This is the problem when we rally too hard, guys, is that eventually it's almost like karma basically is going to catch up to us, and we're just not going to be able to sustain that forever, which is why I think we're already seeing another pullback. Now, this pullback already from our high down to our low on this chart is down by 9%, so very much comparable to the drop that we saw right here. Not quite there yet, certainly could drop lower, but we're looking at similar numbers right now. It looks okay to me. I'm not too worried. We've even got a bit of an ascending channel forming right here. Let me see if I can draw this out properly for you guys. Something a little bit like this. Yeah, there is something here. There's definitely something here. Which if you're look, and I've always said this, in traditional markets, stuff like this, you move up very quickly and then you move up slowly. This is generally a sign that, because you're moving up slowly, you're losing momentum, it's going to level out and then, crash down. That's generally what happens in traditional finance, but for Bitcoin, obviously, we've covered this many times. When Bitcoin does something like this where it moves up quickly and then moves up slowly, that usually is just Bitcoin taking a breather before exploding upwards. And I think, again, that this is overwhelmingly likely to play out this way for Bitcoin, simply because that's just the kind of thing that Bitcoin does. Now, granted, we saw something very similar before and it didn't work out, so we did end up breaking down. And this is the thing, is that if you do end up breaking down and losing that support, it could get pretty nasty. Keyword is could. The thing that Bitcoin has going for it now that previously didn't exist is all of the support below us. I mean, we had amazing opportunities to establish huge levels of support all the way down to $18,500. I've actually got a separate video that I want to make for you guys, which is probably going to come to you tomorrow or maybe the day after, where I'm going to talk to you about why there's a really convincing case that I'm seeing here for why Bitcoin could potentially never go down to 17k again. And I'm not saying that lightly, right? This isn't the title of a YouTube video where that there's whatever going on. I'm just saying this to you seriously, directly to the camera. Bitcoin seriously may never go down to 17k again. Now, I'm not making a conclusion on that. I kind of want it to, because I want to buy a little bit more, but whatever, that's neither here nor there. There's really good support here, and there's a lot to talk about with that. So if you want to watch that video, if you want me to make that, do me a favor, just let me know in the comments. Tell me, make the 17k video. Would really appreciate that. So throw up a like as well if you haven't done so already. But huge areas of support here, definitely very much looking exciting. And again, our best friend here, the daily Ichimoku cloud, is still just kind of chilling here. This is like, here's what the daily Ichimoku cloud is, guys. Get ready for this analogy. So this is like, you've got a friend, an amazing friend. Okay, in this occasion he wasn't very useful. Right here, an amazing friend. I mean, really just lifts you up, takes you from the streets all the way up to the Hollywood Hills. Absolutely killer friend right there. But, you kind of drift apart. You drift apart from that friend. You haven't spoken to him for a couple years, but he's always there for you. You know, like, if you fall, bro, your friend's gonna be right there waiting for you, ready to give you another big bounce up. I actually really like this. I like where this Ichimoku cloud is right now. It's at a really nice, respectable level. If Bitcoin pulls down to a level like this, we're gonna be seeing a really healthy pullback, guys. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're gonna find support. We could obviously collapse below it. I'm not gonna say that that's impossible, but I think it's gonna put Bitcoin in a really, really nice position. If we draw a nice Fibonacci retracement from this low up to this high, we are looking at the 618 level sitting at about $19,800, which coincides with the very bottom of this Ichimoku cloud. If we dump down here quickly within the next within the next 2 weeks, basically, you know, we're going to be seeing a very nice 618 level right here. If we stretch this down to our absolute low of the trend, it becomes a little bit more irrelevant with the Fibonacci retracement, but we do have some nice 38233 support as well, right where we bottomed out before as well. So I think this is definitely still a valid Fibonacci retracement, and again, something that's worth paying attention to as well. No matter where you draw it from, it does line up with some really good levels, and again, seeing the Ichimoku cloud there, this is just your long-term friend that's always got your back. You know, you know, we are flying, we're doing our own thing, but we know that if, you know, if we need to return back to our hometown, this guy's always going to be there for us, waiting for us to give us, you know, a little pat in the back, a little bit of encouragement to then strap that jetpack back on and head on upwards to the moon. And that's obviously where things get quite exciting. Now, the other thing that I want to point out to you is on a shorter term time frame, where we do now potentially have a little bit of resistance if we do rally up. So you know, this line is potentially going to be acting as resistance now. That's just a fact of where we are. It's not the most concerning thing in the world to me, but it is standard. I mean, you know, previously acted as resistance, then very, very nicely acted as support. So of course we have to expect that it could be resistance again, and that's okay. That's not the end of the world if that happens, but it is something to keep in mind. This range in general, I'm not too worried about. If anything, I think Bitcoin has a very strong chance of just kind of sideways within this range between 22.7 up to 23.8. Would make a lot of sense to me. Would be very, very healthy for Bitcoin. Again, just more of a correction. You know, we don't necessarily need to drop down particularly low if we're getting nice time-based corrections, right? We could even start kind of ranging a little bit like this, but wouldn't surprise me too much. Would be a little bit strange if we managed to get above this level and then we just kind of keep dropping below it. That wouldn't be ideal, but this could just turn out to be one of those bigger ranges as well. I want you guys to at least be open to possibilities like that, but bottom line, I think that if we are able to get above this level, we're probably going to be rallying up to this red line right here at 25k. We have tested it a good few times now. You know, I really don't know how many more times we can test this level, and I think that if we are able to get back above it, we could be looking at some really nice explosive breakouts up towards that $30,000 level, which is of course where this all gets very, very exciting. This is what we're looking for. The market has teased us, guys. The market has teased us massively. We really thought we were going to get it on this rally up here right after the big flash crash from 30k down to 17. We rallied up to 25 and it looked extremely obvious that Bitcoin was going to get up to 30k, but we didn't get it. Bitcoin teased us. It actually set a brand new low, just put up the middle finger to us and told us to fuck off, and here we are now making another attempt, and Bitcoin's potentially shaping up to do the same thing again right now. So you know, to me, you know, look, put it this way, I know it might be too early to say, but we've revisited the highs, but we haven't revisited the lows. You know, we haven't come back down here yet. Obviously, we could, we might. I don't know. I don't have the, you know, I don't have a crystal ball that can see the future. But bottom line, you know, it's pretty clear to see that Bitcoin likes our resistance level. Bitcoin is trying to break it. The resistance level seems more important than the support level from what I'm seeing here. You know, I mean, if we were more likely to break the support level, I don't think we would have gotten this high. That's just my opinion. To me, this looks very clearly like a deviation where we had basically a trading range that looks a little bit like, let me draw this out for you, delete all these lines, where we basically had a you know, a sideways range, basically looking a little bit like this. We deviated below it. Very smart people were accumulating Bitcoin here. Obviously, you guys will know if you are watching my YouTube channel that I was very bullish on Bitcoin down at those lows. Obviously, it was the right time to be bullish. That wasn't particularly difficult. If you were watching my channel back during the bull market as well, you're also going to remember that I told you I sold Bitcoin at an average exit of about 57k to buy a literal house. You know, so it's obviously important to be bearish at the right times, bullish at the right times as well. Obviously, I got a lot of things wrong. I was very, very bullish right at the top, right at the absolute top. I think I even lost some money up here because I went long. So, you know, shit happens. You can get it wrong sometimes too. But this was a very, very good call. And if you do appreciate those kind of things, then do me a favor and again just engage with this video a little bit. It does help out with the algorithm. But yeah, some nice deviation action here. So, you know, again, wouldn't even put it above Bitcoin to just kind of range sideways here, guys. If we range sideways like this for the next few months, I will, you know, I'll go on the line and pull a John McAfee and be like, I'll fucking eat my balls on live television if Bitcoin doesn't bottom out over something like this, because to be honest, that would be very surprising. You know, I think if Bitcoin does another couple months sideways like this, that is it. That is the bottom. You know, I mean, right now there's a little bit of ambiguity about it, but that would be it. You know, I really wouldn't expect anything else you know, to happen to Bitcoin. I'm not saying that that is going to happen, because I actually think it's more likely we break up, and I think this is more likely to be a big bull trap, a big ugly bull trap, just like what we had over here. You know, which I say ugly, it doesn't actually have to be a particularly bad thing. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, we're just looking for ranges to trade, and if we can trade them, we can make money, and we can make life-changing money on a rally like this, and that's obviously what makes this kind of thing very, very exciting. So that's what I'm seeing right there. Lots of cool stuff going on. I'm not worried about this pullback right now. It's actually still really small. Look at this on the daily time frame. It's really not that bad at all. This is a small pullback. We can drop a lot more. We can drop down to this level right here around 21k. We can drop all the way down to 19k. It wouldn't even matter. 21k, really strong support here. We're already in a very strong support area as well, so it makes sense if we manage to bounce off over here as well. But for now, my bias hasn't changed. I'm liking what I'm seeing. We're basically just seeing the same things that I was saying need to reset. We are seeing those things reset right now. So as far as things could go that can make me a little bit more confident in the market rising up, this is the best thing I could have asked for. I'm really happy with this, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out. So you guys know the deal. If you have enjoyed this one, you know exactly what to do. Hit up the like, subscribe, tick the bell, do all that good stuff. Check out OKX with these huge offers, as well as the second OKX link in the description for your offer that is going to not be available once the first 500 of you take advantage of it. That is absolutely huge. Definitely jump in on that if you are interested. And if you want to jump inside of my VIP group, see what's going on behind the scenes, how I'm trading these markets and so on, then you can follow these steps on screens. Puts you in a direct chat with me, where you can send me any message you like. There you go. I'm out. Cheers.